Alright, so let's talk a little bit about fire steels. I've got a couple different ones up here. This is a ferro rod from the Boy Scouts. It's a Boy Scout issue, very small. This is a well-used Light My Fire ferro rod. And this is a big guy. This is a larger rod from firesteel.com. And then I have this, which is an Armageddon Gobspark from firesteel.com. And this one to me is different. I believe that this is probably mixed with magnesium. I think the chemistry of this one's different because it throws gobs of spark that continue to burn, and I think you'll see that when I demonstrate each of these. So the idea is that we're going to take a striker, and this is a great striker material to me, a hacksaw blade, because they're very hard and square. So what we're doing is we sanded off the edge of this, and it makes for a reasonably good striker in that way. This striker is the palm striker that came with the Armageddon, and that's what I'm going to use today so we have a little consistency and we can see these different products in use. So let's start out with this little dude right here, and you can kind of get the idea. When you use a fire steel, in my experience, you want to pin the tinder down, and it requires pressure. By the way, I never use the knife edge of my blade. If you're using a knife, I use the back of the blade, but the idea is to get some pressure so you get that spark, and you can see that. And then, so let's try the LMF. You can see that. We get a little popping and sparking there. And then we get the big guy here. And you can see that throws a lot of spark. And this is this Gobspark product. And you'll notice every time I strike this, I take off a lot of metal. This isn't going to last real long because a lot of it comes off. But you can see that action when it comes off. You get a whole lot of spark off this dude that continues to burn. So to me, this one's a little different. Maybe I'm wrong, but let's try it. Got this tinder bundle going here, and this is, by the way, a just a bundle of bark fir that I took off of a flagpole at our scout camp, and you can see that's a great tinder. And the point is, there is obviously you can find that anywhere in the woods, and it burns really well. So if you have a fire steel, I think this is the most. If you only had one fire starting tool, for me it's one of these fire steels, and you can debate about which one of them is the best or works the best. That's a personal preference issue. It appears to me the chemistry is a little different between them, but I'm no authority on the matter. But one thing I do know is that if I have a hard edge like the scraper or a knife, and I have a fire steel, I can build a fire anywhere, and that's part of our A Truth is Hard as Steel challenge. We prove that to ourselves, that if we have a knife and we have a fire steel, we'll always have fire, and because we can find tinders all through the woods, and we'll talk more about that later.